Hello, this is Kyra Pierce. This is just saying, like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and give me your feedback on the hate group, the neo-Nazis.
Coming up, what does it mean to be a Proud Boy?
We're the villains for the left. We're the heroes of the right.
Jailed for 22 years.
Not true.
To destroy
Hate
democracy.
groups.
We won.
But thanks to Donald Trump, Enrique Tarrio is free.
We see who the enemies are.
Proud Boys
They made my family suffer.
are set to settle
We need
old
to
schools.
stand up for our community and come together.
That's next on 60 Minutes.
They can stop this stuff. They can put a stop to this.
It can't be understated just how momentous January the 6th, 2021
I'm just
was
worried
for
about my
American
people,
democracy.
children, grandchildren,
2 months
family,
earlier,
elders.
Donald Trump had lost, but claimed he won the 2020 presidential election. The lie became Trump's mantra, as well as the catalyst for the storming of the US Capitol building. One of the instigators of the violence that day in January was Enrique Tarrio, the leader of the far-right neo-fascist group, the Proud Boys. He ended up being jailed for 22 years for seditious conspiracy.
Look at all this stuff is happening.
Others
Stay vigilant.
Sent to
Watch
prison.
your surroundings.
But remarkably, now they're all free, beneficiaries of Trump presidential pardons.
Right.
And armed with their get-out-of-jail cards, Tarrio and his Proud Boys are not only empowered, they say they're invincible. And a warning, this story contains coarse language. It's a surreal and, for many, a deeply unsettling sight.
Can we go through there?
The ringleaders of the January 6, 2021 insurrection, back in Washington, D.C., returning to the scene of the crime.
This is not a joke or a game for educational purposes.
Building, it was in anger. An unbelievable assault on democracy that landed them lengthy sentences behind bars. Leading the pack on their return is Enrique Tarrio, boss of the far-right Proud Boys. Back in the driving seat.
Is my microphone good?
And bristling with defiance. Do you still maintain, in the face of all the evidence that was tendered to the courts, your conviction that you did nothing wrong?
I can't regret something that I didn't do. And that day, I did not attempt to overthrow the U.S. government.
Well, what did you do? What was it all about?
Tonight, the
hate groups. This is sad.
Tarrio and his Proud Boys.
What they did to me and my brothers was wrong.
The ugly new reality for a nation on edge. They're emboldened, empowered, and hungry for revenge.
They made my family suffer for 3 years. And the people who made them suffer will pay.
Sound like to me they promoting anarchy and war. This is so sad.
Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Stay
For all of
vigilant.
his unpredictability,
Stock up on supplies and food.
I'm going to be signing on the J6 hostages.
Time to come together.
it was a promise made and kept by President Donald Trump.
So much been happening since this man been back in office.
The Capitol.
So this is January 6th, and these are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon. Full pardon.
Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio was the highest profile release of all. So how does it feel to be a free man?
It feels amazing, but the moment hasn't, I guess, hit me yet.
Found guilty of orchestrating the riot, he received the longest sentence.
The thing these people can be doing, I mean, the things that they can be doing, helping other people, this hate. People don't show love no more. What's up with the color of the skin? You dislike the blacks, the Jews, the Mexicans. What's up with that?
Of the first Trump presidency.
This is who president. This is what he do. I would have never choose someone like that to run the country. From a video I seen.
What does it mean to be a Proud Boy?
It's a neo-Nazi
People think that we're a political group.
Have outsiders.
We're a drinking club first.
It's
and we're
interesting.
fraternity
Just
first, and we're
interesting.
brotherhood first before anything to do with politics. As a matter of fact, with us, the goal is just to make better men, better
I don't
brothers,
mess with
better
their
sons,
stuff
better
anymore.
fathers, better neighbors, better husbands.
Extremists, neo-fascists, racists, misogynists,
Right.
violent thugs. This is how you're perceived in many parts of society.
Right.
We're the villains
Facts.
for the left, and we're the heroes of the right. And I think both of them are wrong. So when they call us neo-fascists, when they call us white supremacists, when they call us, all those, anything ism or isist, it's retarded. And I think that people are using it for propaganda.
A Cuban American and a native of Miami, 42-year-old Enrique makes an unlikely leader of a far-right group. He's a shameless self-promoter who plays up to his controversial image. When you talk about being painted as a villain,
Yes.
you guys do lean in a sense, to the, the black caps and the sunglasses and all the gear. Yeah, I mean, you play a character, don't you?
Yeah, do I lean into it? Yes, of course I do. I wouldn't be me if I didn't.
Right.
Enrique boldly claims his group has 35,000 members in the US and 10,000 overseas, including a chapter in Australia.
I think you see threats from across the spectrum.
It's a figure that John Lewis insists is overinflated, like much of what the Proud Boys leader says. What do you make of Enrique?
Let me get a better
Tarrio?
camera
He
and
is
another
an enormously
laptop.
talented grifter. He is a phenomenal propagandist and someone who knows how to lie and manipulate. Someone who knows how to get headlines.
Right.
John is an expert in domestic terrorism and extremism at George Washington University. He's watched the resurgence of the Proud Boys with alarm. I found it quite difficult to pinpoint their ideology. How would you define it?
I think they're intentionally obfuscating that, right? They largely support far-right conspiracies. They support far-right ideologies. Their core idea is that they're against any globalist Marxist forces that they think are operating against the white Western world.
Leave me alone. I've been stabbed enough times.
Enrique Tarrio says the stage was set for January 6th long before his boys breached the first barricade on Capitol Hill.
We were already angry for a very long time. And then fast forward 2020, you had these riots in the streets with no arrest, right? And then you had the COVID lockdowns, so if you add in a stolen election, I think it was a powder keg.
This was a fuse waiting to be lit.
Yes.
Moving on to the next.
For the Proud Boys, their call to arms came in September 2020, when Donald Trump mentioned them by name in the first presidential debate with Joe Biden.
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
Stand back and stand by. What impact did that have on your group?
Had a very big impact from what we seen.
Like this. That moment, it changed everything.
4 months later, the Proud Boys went into battle.
For awareness, there's probably about 300 Proud Boys. They're marching eastbound towards the United States Capitol.
Convinced the presidential election was stolen, they spearheaded the breach of the Capitol building. Enrique Tarrio wasn't actually there that day. He'd been arrested 2 days earlier and banned from entering the as the mob breached barricades, smashed windows, and stormed the chambers of Congress. Enrique sat in a hotel room and fanned the flames on social media. So at 2:38, don't leave?
Don't fucking leave, yes.
What did you mean by this?
I meant don't fucking leave. I was rooting for my team at that time.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Keep doing what you're doing, yes, I did.
2:41 p.m. Proud of my boys and my country. Make no mistake, we did this.
Yeah. And what I meant by we at the time was the American people.
Despite his conviction, he still denies plotting the insurrection and insists he had no role in what his Proud Boys did that day. And he is absolutely determined that he had no responsibility for January 6th because he wasn't there on the day.
Yeah.
What's the reality?
Yeah, look, narcissists are very good liars. I mean,
Right.
The evidence at his trial was very open and shut. That the Proud Boys, led by Enrique Tarrio, conspired to attack the Capitol on January 6th to prevent the peaceful transfer of presidential power.
Are you proud of what happened that day?
Yes, I am. I'm never going to deny celebrating that day. I still celebrate that day. But celebrating it is not akin to sedition. Right?
Coming up, the brave cop who almost died defending the Capitol.
So sad.
The moment where I was first struck with a taser on my neck.
Comes face to face with Enrique Tarrio.
They could put a stop to this. This is uncalled for.
Former DC police officer Michael Fano was nearly killed by the mob that descended on Washington, D.C. on January the 6th, 2021. He's become one of the most outspoken critics of Donald Trump and those who stormed the Capitol in his name, making him a sworn enemy of Enrique Tarrio's Proud Boys.
I think they're a domestic terrorist organization.
How dangerous are they?
I mean, when put together in numbers, I think they're incredibly dangerous.
Enrique Tarrio tells us the Proud Boys are a men's drinking club. You know, they just want to make better men, stronger men.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Right.
They are violent criminals,
That's
and they
it.
should be in prison.
Right.
Unfortunately, many of them were released by Donald Trump's pardons.
And you have a lot of people that's in jail that were standing up for themselves. And you telling me this is what America do. America is something else. And they talk about the American dream.
To hold back the mob.
I mean, you really couldn't slide a credit card between two people.
Suddenly, he's grabbed
That's
in a
sad.
headlock and dragged down the steps into the crowd. Where he is beaten and repeatedly tasered into unconsciousness.
Really,
Sad.
the last independent recollection I have is yelling out that I had kids. After that, it just kind of becomes